Today's question is from Jessina in New Jersey. Dave, we're having a very hard time trying to get on track with everything, including starting our emergency fund. What can we do when we are so behind that we cannot even catch up? We're about 2 months behind on all bills. It's causing a lot of stress on our marriage, our kids. We're tired of living this way, but we feel like we're in so much debt, in so deep, that we can't get out. Yeah, Justina, it gets really, really scary when you're in a situation like that. And part of what's scary is the sense that you're stuck. Part of what's scary is you're overwhelmed. And let's stop and pull one segment out of this thing and talk about that for a second. We're 2 months behind on our bills, and it's causing us so much stress on our marriage and kids. Being behind on your bills should not affect your kids. They should know about it. You don't need to tell your 5-year-old you're behind on the lights. That's not their problem. That's your problem. And you can tell the kids no, but you don't have to give them a big, long reason why. No's a complete sentence. No. But don't pass off the, don't pass off the stress to the kids. Now, let's look at the rest of this. What do you do when you're completely overwhelmed and terrified and feel stuck? I've been there. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. You've been there too, haven't you? It is no fun. Okay, here's how you fix it. You have to begin to take control of what you can take control of. You have an income. Let's make sure that that first is being controlled. And that's called the budget. Now, you do not have to be able to pay everything to do a budget. All a budget is you're telling the money that you do have where it is going to go. And so when you can't pay everything, which catching everything up in 1 month would be paying everything, right? When you can't pay everything, then you've got to say, well, the money that we have, we're going to do the most we can do with that. And for this month, that's all we can do. So you prioritize it. You make enough to buy food. You do not make enough to eat out. So we're not going to restaurants, but we are going to the grocery store. And we're going to feed our family. And we're going to cook from scratch because it's healthier and it costs less. So there we go. Food. You make enough to do that. Check. Put that one down. Put a food budget down. Write that number down. You can do that. You make enough to pay your lights and water. And if you're behind on them, you catch them all up this month. Before you do anything else after you eat. Get current on your lights. Get current on your water. Now, if you have a $600 a month cable bill because you have NFL super duper pooper scooper or whatever, then cancel all that crap. But I'm talking about water and lights and gas to heat. Okay? Now, I don't really give a rip whether you can see Downton Abbey or not, but I am more concerned about you having lights and water on and gas to heat, if it's gas heat. Okay, so you pay your basic necessities, food and utilities. You make enough to do that and get current on them right now. Number 3 is shelter. Now you pay your rent. It doesn't matter if you pay your rent and you can't sleep there because there's no heat. So you got to put heat in the place, okay? So you pay your rent. If you're behind on your rent, before you move on to number 4, you catch up on your rent. Number 4, transportation. You get current on the car and you keep gas in the car. Now, if that takes all your money and you can pay nothing else this month, oh well. Now, but think about this. If you got a place to live that's current, you're not going to get evicted. Your utilities are all current and they're not going to get cut off. And you have food and the car is not going to get repoed and it's got gas in it so you can go to work. You live to fight another month. That's very essential that you get through those. And you do make enough to get through those. But you've been feeding the other monsters, and the other monsters are the people that call and scream at you, and in order for them to not scream at you, you pay them. Don't pay them. MasterCard is not in front of your children eating. MasterCard can jump in the creek. Discover Bondage can sit over there and suck its thumb. We're not giving them any money. American Express can definitely bite my ankle. Seriously. Right? They can sit over on the sidelines right now until you get your food, shelter, clothing, and utilities and transportation taken care of. Call the student loan people and tell Sally Mae she is on hardship deferral. She's not getting a dime. Then you begin to continue to work down the list, and you get to who you can get to in order of importance. And you just work the list and work the list and work the list. Now, if you got a big pile of debt and you don't see any hope past those things, then it's time to start talking about what we can sell and what we can do to create an income. I mean, you may have to amputate the Tahoe. You may have this big stinking car payment that's killing you. You may have to take like 6 extra jobs and drive for Uber or deliver pizzas or clean somebody's toilets on the weekends. I don't know what you're going to do. But my grandmother used to say there's a great place to go when you're broke, to work. Increase the income. Make the money behave. Take care of your necessities first. We call that the 4 walls of your house. When you have the 4 walls of your house protected, the people inside are safe and they're dry, then you live to fight another day. The powder's dry to go to battle, as they say. You got to have the gunpowder dry or it won't work, right? So we got to have a plan. We get all those things laid out, and it's step by step by step by step. See, I'm feeling better about your situation already because I don't even know your numbers, but I've done this for 30 years, and I'd say 99.9% of the time I sit down with someone that has a job, they can take care of food, shelter, clothing, transportation, and utilities. And by the way, you don't need clothing. You got clothing. Just wear what you got. And if you got to buy the kids a pair of shoes because their toes are coming through or something, that's fine. But you don't need to be buying a bunch of clothing. Most of you got enough clothing to last. We're not trying to make a fashion statement right now, people. We're trying to survive. So, I don't care. You'll get to that stuff later. I'm talking about this month where you don't feel hopeless anymore, where you have a sense of traction, where you see a light at the end of the tunnel that's not an oncoming train. And when you've got food, your lights and water are current and they're not about to be cut off. You've got your rent current. You're not about to get evicted or foreclosed on your home. Your car's not about to get repoed. You got those basic things done, and you can get most of that done in 1 or 2 months if you quit paying everything else. I mean, you get behind on your credit cards further, well, so what? We'll get back to them later. We get behind on Sally Mae further, so what? What's she going to do? Just get uglier? Well, get ugly. I hang up the phone. I can stop you from talking. Just, hit that little end button. They quit talking. It's an amazing thing. And don't take a bunch of crap off these people. You do the best you can do, but work extra, sell stuff. Get this budget balanced. Get your Every Dollar app. It's free to download onto your phone. You can do this. But it's how you eat an elephant, a bite at a time. You see, I gave you a step-by-step clear path. The next thing you do is you get current, and then, and only then, once you're current, do you start your baby steps. But you got a little while before you do that. It might be 3 months before you get there. Sell stuff, extra jobs, take care of the necessities first. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.